Hello, I'm probably riding my bike and I'm making some adjustments to the clem to head out for another beautiful May day to one of my regular cafes, my Stamtisch, my Chamse Bangakan. It's out in Songu, about a 20-minute ride from Jamsu Bridge in the centre of Seoul. The bike paths are getting busier and busier as the weather gets better and better. I've seen this Jongja before in my other video. It was packed out today. Just off this part of the river is my favourite cafe in Seoul, and it's a must visit, especially if you're into bikes. It's HBC Cafe, Hitch Bicycle Club Cafe. A big reason it's my favourite is because it's run by my friends, but I think even if they weren't my friends before, it would still be a regular spot for me. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. I always have the Cheers theme tune, the 80s sitcom, in my head. Maybe it's just the familiar faces and the long bar of this cafe. A delicious latte for me and a green juice for my wife. Junyeop the barista is a big part of why the cafe is so welcoming and the coffee is so good. Let's check out his bike. He has a Bassi Hogsback. I really like the colour scheme on this one. These are popping up all over Korea. They're quite a popular model around here. And I can see why. A wide range Dior cassette for all the Korean hills. Bassi cranks, which look pretty clean. And the best MKS pedals. These are the crust Sylvan Gorditos. A Hitch and Kawa designs, frame bag and stem bag in a lovely olivey brown colour. I have these bags in a different colour of mine. The Brook saddle with the Hitch reflector. The Vans waffle tyres and a Pelago rack with the nice pannier accessory. I'd quite like to have this rack on one of my bikes. I think they're Nitto high bars. And a ghost flower from the artist Ghost in Japan. It's a really unique bike. I think it suits Junyeop. It's a little ride around. It's a little small for me, but it's still a fun little ride. The Bassi Hogsbacks are pretty cool. And all of the colours are quite nice too. Shout out to people watching in Montreal. I've had some nice messages from a few of you. Thank you. Always happy to ride other people's bikes. And quite often when I come to HBC Cafe, I get the chance to have a go on someone's. And I think they're pretty open to you trying them out if you ever visit. HBC Cafe gets extra bonus points for opening at 8 in the morning, which is extremely early for a cafe to open here. They're open till 6 p.m. in the evening. They're closed on Tuesdays. I come at least probably once a week, sometimes more, sometimes a bit less if I'm busy. There's always someone to chat to, a familiar face or two or three or more. Always a really nice, friendly vibe. And if you like dogs, there's plenty of dogs that come too. It's not just a bike cafe, it seems to be a dog cafe too. Dog-friendly places are always good. A great coffee, and now we're heading off to get some lunch. We're in the Songu area, which I've been to a couple of times in my videos, I think. And we're going to get a delicious Korean lunch of sundubu jjigae at this place. Seoul-mun sundubu bosam. Very local feeling kind of place with a really good range of side dishes, banchan, and they'll fill them up for you if you ask for more too. I got a regular sundubu jjigae, which has some pork and clams and a soft tofu in a spicy broth. And we also got kongbiji, which is ground soybean stew. Doesn't look that appetizing, but it was absolutely glorious. And of course, a clean bowl club. Clean bowl club has been causing some controversy in my videos. Some people saying they're not clean bowls. But I think if there's very minimal left, a bit of broth, maybe a couple of chilies, but you've eaten the majority of it, I think it counts as a clean bowl. What do you think? I wanted to stop off at HBC Cafe, but it was closed, so we decided to go home to have a coffee instead. It feels like a perfect English summer's day in the mid-20s with a light breeze and clean air. Incredible day for riding. 자전거 타기 딱 좋은 날씨다. I could keep riding all day, every day, if the weather was like this. And there's probably enough bike paths on the rivers to be able to ride all day, every day, for quite a while. But we're going to head home, as I said before, to get a coffee. This part of the path feels like you're in the middle of the countryside, but not for long, because you get to this Pyeongjam, this convenience store by this roundabout, which seems to be a big hub of people converging and meeting up. All kinds of bikes, all kinds of people, and a delicious little chocolate mushroom. It was quite chaotic and stressful, so we left just for a short ride home, passing different bikes and runners, and a rest for weary legs on the final climb. It's cool to see my two bikes together. And here we are, arriving at home, putting the bikes away to make our coffee. Filter the water with a Brita filter, and I'm making it with a Hario V60 today, with coffee from my friends Bree and Darren, who visited from Australia last week. Washed Colombian beans, which I think are perfectly fruity for an iced coffee. So I'm going to use the Light Up Japan recipe, which calls for 21 grams of coffee. The recipe is written in Japanese, but I understand numbers, and I use some of James Hoffman's recipe blended too. 93 degrees Celsius water. Grind your coffee. Fold your filter and rinse. Make the filter hot enough with some boiling water. 80 grams of ice. And pour the coffee in. The first bloom is 40 grams for 30 seconds. And then it's up to 80 at 30 seconds. And then 110 grams at a minute. And then 150 grams at 1 minute 30. It seems like quite a lot of coffee for a small amount of water, but it's diluted with the ice that melts into the coffee. Light Up Coffee in Shimokitazawa was one of my best iced coffees, so I took the brochure with me to keep the recipe for myself. Give it a swirl to melt the rest of the ice, and it's time to enjoy my delicious iced coffee in my Irish crystal glass from my grandma. And thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. I really appreciate all of you being so positive in the comments and making a really great space. See you later.